Who Mourns For Adonais is a well-liked Star Trek episode that tackles the controversial subject of religion and its place in society. According to IMDb, the title is taken verbatim from a line in Adonais, an elegy on the death of John Keats, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Shelley's Adonais is derived from Adonis, the Greek god of beauty and fertility, famous for his physique. Adonais also refers to the already plural Hebrew spoken name of God, Adonai, so the title means Who Mourns for the Gods. This episode is one answer to the question,
what does God need with a starship?
Well, what this god needs with this starship is followers. An alien claiming to be the god Apollo captures the Enterprise and wants them to worship him. Like any narcissist, he claims to need love and worship the way humans need food and water. He wants followers, but he's trying to force his ideology on the Enterprise crew, who have no interest. The world has moved on from the religion of his time, and he's stuck in the past, desperately trying to recreate it. The rest of the episode features Kirk and the Enterprise crew trying to prevent themselves from becoming Apollo's slaves, and trying to find a way to escape from his clutches. This is just one example on how corruption can appear under the guise of religion.
You will not leave this place.
Kirk claims they have no need for gods like Apollo anymore. The episode seems to suggest that the world no longer needs religion, but they're specifically against forcing an ideology on someone.
I said you would worship me.
In this case, slavery pretending to be religion. Or to put it another way, going back to a simpler time as inherently a better option. While devoted to scientific pursuits, the Federation provides a lot of the elements religion typically does, such as a driving purpose, a sense of community, validation of one's existence, and a set of rules to follow to be a good person. Their understanding of what good means continues to evolve as they explore the universe. Apollo, the clear villain of the episode, is unwilling to provide these connections for himself, expects it to come from an external source in the form of worship, tries to force it, and gets angry when he doesn't receive it. Apollo is setting himself up as a false idol, something that's criticized in the Old Testament itself. Religion isn't a bad thing in its own right. The episode is saying that the use of religion for selfishly attaining power is false, backwards, and outdated, attacking the abuse of power rather than religion itself. This is shown consistently throughout, from the setup that it's an alien claiming to be Apollo.
I'm sorry, Captain. I never met a god before.
And you haven't yet. Readings, Doctor.
Simple humanoid, Captain.
The fact that he's using an ancient religion for his own gain, to blatantly kidnapping people and insisting on their devotion. While Star Trek definitely has a scientific lean, it is interesting that religion in this episode is juxtaposed with science. They're often seen as competing with each other because both are used to explain how the world works, and they conflict with each other on their explanations. However, both are important in their own ways. Science can explain things logically with tangible proof. Religion is important for an emotional connection to something greater than ourselves and passing down cultural history. And we always need to be learning and growing as our understanding of the world changes and expands. One of the major themes in the entire Star Trek original franchise is the balance between logic and emotion, as extreme devotion to either science or religion is unhealthy. Unfortunately, it's not easy to give up on something that one believes in so deeply, even if that belief is completely misguided, which is shown as once Apollo is defeated, he completely breaks down.
Did I ask so much?
We've outgrown you. You asked for something we can no longer give.
Athena, you were right. The time has passed.
At that moment, even considering how despicable Apollo has been throughout the episode,
I said you would worship me.
when watching him see that everything he held dear has been a lie, it's hard not to feel a little sorry for him.
Forgive me, my old friends. Take me.
Even Kirk is shaken by it. The final line is Kirk even questioning for a second whether or not it would have been so bad under Apollo, and the episode ends with a challenge of faith for both the hero and the villain.
Would it have hurt us, I wonder, just to have gathered a few laurel leaves?
But be careful who you put your faith into. Apollo made promises about comfort and happiness, but was still trying to force people into going backwards, into slavery and stagnation.
I loved you. See what you've done to me.
Kirk and the Enterprise are trying to go forward and understand more about the universe. And they do gain a lot of knowledge and experience and understanding, but there is a risk of death for the sake of that knowledge and humanity, as many red shirts and Edith Keeler can attest. There's never going to be that 100% surefire answer to life's biggest questions, especially not from one avenue alone. So it's important to have a variety of qualified sources of knowledge, a balance of science and religion, and continuous faith in ourselves to create meaning and personal fulfillment. At the core of major religions is an answer to the question, what does it mean to be a good person? And clashes come from the conflicting answers as to what that means. Tradition and religion are not inherently bad, but similar to when better scientific discovery changes our thinking, our spiritual guides also need to change with the times as we learn more about the world and what it means to be good. If we get stuck trying to live up to the ideals of the past when the world was a vastly different place, we lose what's happening in the present and miss out on building a better future.